In Conspiracy Debunked News, submitted by Tim from Jacksonville. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
Edward Snowden further discusses what he found after searching the depths of U.S. intelligence networks.
American hero, Edward Snowden. Thank you.
He just did one with Joe Rogan, too.
Yeah, that's why he's a hot topic right now.
One.
I heard like half of it.
Hot Pockets.
Way to dumb it the fuck down. Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Americans Connect. Okay.
So Edward Snowden, former employee of the CIA and contractor for the National Security Agency, NSA, he had access to the nation's most closely held secrets. And when he was asked about extraterrestrial life or, other intelligence, he said,
Fuck yes.
in his book, he said, for the record,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tell me the detail.
As far as I could tell, aliens have never contacted Earth, or at least they haven't contacted U.S. intelligence.
What the fuck does he know?
He says,
Who is this clown?
in case you were wondering, yes, man really did land on the moon. Climate change is real. Chemtrails are
He's
not
been
a thing.
paid off. Right.
Unbelievable.
Or threatened.
Wait, what about chemtrails?
Chemtrails are not a thing.
Okay.
He says.
They're just airplane poo-poo.
So everyone's asking him about all the conspiracies.
We went to the moon, but did we land there? Does he say that?
He said the land on the moon is
the
yeah.
land
yeah.
is-
Okay, just checking. Cool.
But how would he know?
So he says that he had. Okay, so
Because he wasn't even born at that
He
time.
said.
Yeah.
He's looking at the files.
But the idea that we're hiding them, if we are hiding them, I had ridiculous access to the networks of the NSA, the CIA, the military, all these groups. I
Maybe
couldn't
not
find,
ridiculous enough.
I couldn't
Yeah.
find anything. So
What about
if it's
9/11?
hidden, and it could be hidden. It's hidden really damn well, even from people who are on the inside.
Was he looking when he had access to all of that?
He was looking at everything apparently.
Okay.
That's what he was.
Will Smith has real access.
He was also a contractor. He doesn't have all the fucking access to everything.
He's not a Pentagon man.
Wait, what happened? I thought you were on his side.
Yeah, but now he's saying that all these aliens don't exist, and so now
my worldview right now, and I need to defend my
This
worldview.
is what he says. Everybody wants to believe in conspiracy theories because it helps life make sense. It helps us believe that somebody is in control, that somebody is calling the shots.
That's why people like religion.
Is Epstein is Epstein a conspiracy theory? Does he? What would he say about Epstein?
Let me call him up. Hold on, 1 second. I got Edward's.
Thank you.
It's only a conspiracy because there's no conclusion.
If you want something to make sense, you should read the book Holographic Universe. Holy fuck.
Let me borrow it.
Yeah,
Keep talking
well,
about it.
I'm not done reading it, but then you could.
What is it about?
The simulation theory?
No, I mean, kind of, but not really. It's not simulation. It's that everything's a hologram, and our brains can process these into interference patterns. Everything's made of interference patterns, and that our brain is projecting this whole reality the way that we see it. But really, like, if you took it away, it could just be a bunch of patterns like this, and like we, as like a laser makes a holographic image by shining it on interference patterns, our brains are doing that to the interference patterns.
So Snowden's a fucking hologram, so I'm not gonna trust no hologram.
Exactly.
You know what else is a hologram? I could have sworn we had 10 million subscribers, but we don't even have 2 million. So we need to hit that mark by people hitting the subscribe button.
Actually, Joe, you're projecting that reality. It could be at 10 million. And
Yeah.
Your brain is just making.
See, that's
Do you
right. Way to
believe-
bring
do
it
you-
back.
do
You know
you
what?
believe in
My
the law-
biggest criticism about the subscribe thing is that sometimes it derails us, and you brought us right back. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was great.
Thanks, guys.
But do you believe in the law of attraction?
Yeah.
Because of the hologram theory?
No, not because of that. But I mean, I'm not through the book yet. But some of the ideas that I already like
Intent and desire?
supports a lot of religions, like through scientific research that they've done, but like not directly. It wasn't like God and Jesus and blah blah blah. But it certain things that happen. It's like, whoa, that was because of that.
Like
Well, there's always a
prayer?
prophet. There's always like the same kind of things,
So
right?
like reincarnation, like that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So they're all trying to make sense of the same thing.
And souls and all, like the accounts.
So you're
for all that.
saying
They
this
couldn't have
book
predicted all
has
the porn we would've had, though.
the question.
It actually doesn't
could.
talk about any of the spiritual aspects of things, but it does explain a lot when you're like, whoa, that if you connect the dots on your own.
I just think it's one of those things like slug bug, right? Like if you're looking for it, then it's more taking up the real estate on your mind. So if you're thinking of $10 million, your mind is thinking of ways to obtain that 10 million. And so you're thinking of deals and businesses, and you're immersing yourself. Same with being a doctor or anything. Like your mind is going toward that direction, and you're obsessively immersed in that world, so your mind is occupied in that direction.
But law of attraction also means you have to vibrate on that same frequency as having $10,000. You have to believe that that's possible. You can't look at $10,000 and go, whoa, that's crazy, I could never. Otherwise it won't. You don't attract that.
Well, because that is law of attraction, because you're saying I could never, so you're attracting that you could never do
exactly.
it.
You're just attracting the lack.
Yeah. So your mind is focused on how you can't do it.
I want 10,000. You're attracting the wanting 10,000, not having 10,000.
Am I supposed to be high to understand what the hell you guys are saying?
Kind of, yeah.
Or you just be on our level, Bart, but it's okay. You're on a different frequency.
Well, in psychology, the brain can't tell the difference regardless if it's a TV show or real life. So if you saw a murder in a TV show and you saw a murder in real life, the brain can't tell the difference.
Well, that's why when people meet us in person, they're like, whoa, hold on. Like, wait, I know you. You know what I mean?
You're much smaller in person.
It's that same idea.
Oh.
It's that same idea of like,
yeah.
when they see you, they recognize you, they don't quite know what from, but they're like, wait a minute, you're real, it's strange.
Yeah.
Wait, so then that argument when parents are like, we gotta get rid of all these video games with all this killing because it's polluting our kids' mind is actually kind of true?
No, it's not true. That's
It's 1,000% true.
bullshit. What are you talking about?
Because I've watched so much porn, I literally fucked so many guys and girls.
It does not make any sense at all.
But, same
In his
thing.
mind.
But
Holographically.
is that like they were even going into like if you touch his bag like this?
Yeah.
I'm not even really the reality is I'm not touching
So
his
you're saying
bag.
we're in the Matrix.
My brain is telling myself that I am having the feeling of sensation
Dude, that
of
sounds
touching
just
a bag.
like The Matrix.
is.
We just watched it 2 nights ago.
I love The Matrix.
Like when he was eating the steak, he's like, I don't even care that this is not real, but my brain is telling me that this tastes delicious and all this shit.
That's the most delicious steak scene of all movies.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Me too.
That slop.
Yeah.
Me too.
Real quick, Snowden. So, should he be repatriated to the United States and should he be declared a hero?
Yep. I don't think he should be a war criminal. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
What is that? Well, dude, look what they're doing to Assange right now. That guy's in a fucking dark prison cell, probably in solitary confinement, probably forever.
Because I don't follow politics.
What is that?
It's not just a WikiLeaks thing.
Assange is WikiLeaks,
Yeah.
dude. WikiLeaks has never been proven to be wrong about anything. He exposed a bunch of government bullshit that we're doing.
Yeah.
Which we were doing.
And by the way,
And he's
he
supposed
wasn't
to-
the one, he released information. So the way that WikiLeaks works, it's like Wikipedia, right? It's just WikiLeaks. And then they leak information. So sources like spies or whatever, they have this information, they actually do the dirty work, and then they put it up on WikiLeaks. Julian Assange is the owner of WikiLeaks, and then he allows the content. He kind of double checks and cross references the how realistic this source is, so it's not bullshit. And then when it's ready, it goes off. So
How does he verify it if it's anonymous?
The source?
no, his source is not
He
anonymous.
knows the source, but we don't know.
So he cross-references all these different and makes sure that it's real.
They've never been proven wrong about anything.
Yeah, but it
But
was.
he's-
Is this still a live thing? Can we still check that out?
WikiLeaks is still out there, yeah. But some people think it's been compromised because Assange is in jail now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're still posting, but there were a lot of things that went up that helped the American people, but hurt the government because of the shady shit that
What's
they were
one
doing.
example?
Well, so for example, the spying operation, mass surveillance of our citizens, which is what Snowden also helped uncover. Snowden went to WikiLeaks with a lot of this stuff.
where all the TVs are listening to us and all this stuff, and that's
Yeah.
been proven that it was true.
Yeah.
So
Don't trust the
and
government.
Chelsea
Yeah.
Manning too, and Chelsea Manning
Just
is also a
illegal
hero.
stuff.
I've heard of all these
Another
names
leaker.
and all these words, but it was all.
Just know that our media and our government wants these people locked away for a reason, because they threaten the war
The
machine,
brainwashing.
war economy, and
Yeah.
brainwashing. So these people are heroes, in my opinion. And
So what did
Hillary
Chelsea Manning
Clinton
do?
asked if we could just drone Assange. Can we just drone him? And at the time, he was living in an embassy
So
in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's how fucking crazy these people are. They're all just
Drone as
fucking
in
warmongers.
Drone kill him?
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
take him out
They
with
want
a
to make a
hellfire.
movie, and they want a bird's eye view of it.
You can look that up.
So basically, what he did is he confirmed that there are branches in the government that makes a fuck ton of money by basically destroying countries.
Wow.
It's always been a conspiracy, but now there's actual evidence.
Another
right?
thing that WikiLeaks exposed was Obama had his whole cabinet handpicked for him by big companies.
Yeah.
And you can see it all. It's all in the fucking public emails you can pull
Even
up.
how Bernie Sanders got fucked over during the election from Hillary Clinton's camp,
We
that
only
was
know
on
about that
WikiLeaks.
because of them, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy shit that went down.
And they're doing it again, by the way, to Tulsi Gabbard.
Yep.
They're
They're silencing her.
There's all this shit that's out. What do you guys think is stopping people from like correcting it? Like, do we not
media?
have another agency that's strong enough? Because it's almost like CIA, FBI, NSA, they're all like in cahoots with each other.
It's the media. Tiff is plugged into the media, and she doesn't even know about this stuff because they don't talk about this stuff from this perspective.
But then there's also
They're
people
the
that do know
gatekeeper.
about it, like on WikiLeaks that follow this.
I think there's a lot of things going on. Like, for one, most people aren't politically active or they don't care.
Yeah.
So most people care about how am I gonna fuck tomorrow, how am I gonna eat tomorrow, and how am I gonna pay my bills.
Yeah, I don't care that we're at war in every African
They don't give a
nation.
fuck. And there is a woke community, but it's a bigger, newer, I mean, it's huge now because of the internet, but they don't know what to do and they don't know who the real bad guy is.
Yeah.
But thanks to things like WikiLeaks, this information is out, then the American public can decide afterwards. But the difference is what we're being told by the government and the freedoms that we have, and some stuff is just downright illegal and unconstitutional. So it's violating the rights of Americans.
Who
but
did
Americans
9/11?
don't, yeah, exactly.
Who did 9/11? And I'm not talking about the government here. I'm talking about the Saudis did 9/11. Like, there were 19 hijackers. Like, I think all of them were Saudi Arabian.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe one Pakistani. Yeah. But the point being, where did we go to war? Afghanistan. Like,
In Iraq.
In Iraq, right.
Right.
We didn't go to no Saudi Arabia. Duh, no shit city USA. Even civil lawsuits that the 9/11 families want to take against the Saudi government were disallowed for many years until just recently.
But let me bring it back down to like why it matters to Americans is because, so like, let's say our country goes to war with the Middle East, bombs these people, all that stuff, right? We're creating terrorists. So
That's right.
they're like, let's say we've been out there for over 30, 40 years, right? So they're growing up with our drones, with our military, occupying their nation, blowing shit up. They're like, fuck, get out of my country. And then there's these poor kids that are indoctrinated into, ISIS and things like that, and their lifelong mission is to kill us. So then if they get into our borders or whatever, they're not saying, oh, I hate you because you're capitalist and you're American. They're saying, you've been bombing and killing my people for the last 40, 50 years, so it's time for revenge. So that's what Americans should think about and worry about, is because we're creating these people that want future
And by
revenge.
the way, this is what Democrats said 10 years ago, and now they don't say it anymore. It's fucking weird.
And because at the end of the day, what's happening is the war machine and the money aspect of everything. We could go over there, we could rob their oil, we could build our American companies, we can do a lot of things like what Bush and Cheney did with Halliburton and the oil, it just
and what
there's
Obama
just
did.
so
And what
much-
Obama
yeah,
did.
yeah. Obama
Bush,
he kept it going.
He kept it all going from the Bush Cheney years. So it's like, what's the fucking difference? And that's what a lot of people start to ask. So people like Tulsi Gabbard are like, well, I don't want to keep doing all this bullshit. And even Trump is like, I want to get out of Syria. And then you have people on both sides going, you stay in Syria, and people telling Tulsi Gabbard, shut the fuck up, or you're a Russian asset.
And so there is a battle going on within the government too. It's not like everyone is in cahoots. There are people that are like Tulsi and Andrew, who's more like, let's worry about America and keeping this shit right, because what's happening is they're using the people so they could keep rich.
And even
Media
Trump,
and
right? Trump wants to get you out of Syria, but he protects Saudi Arabia like nobody else.
And that's why what's crazy is, okay, so to simplify it, this is what's happening. They keep the American people fighting left and right about issues like LGBT and these things. And that's what I say, the bigger
It's a
picture.
distraction.
It's a distraction because what's really happening is everything is a money grab at the top. And it's like, let me fucking fatten my family's pockets and do all this stuff, keep it rich within my camp. Within the camps, so within the Republican Party, you have the Bush camp, you have these camps, whatever, the War Machine camp, right? And those guys are like, now it's my turn, I got my group in politics, we're gonna make all this fucking money, and then who's paying for it? The average American.
Yeah,
with our
tax
lives,
dollars.
with our taxes, with our bailouts, and that's where I think people have to see the connection, is like, everyone's in it for themselves. And it's not about.
But people don't know how they're being played by the media.
They don't.
When we were, real quick, when we were in LA, every fucking month there was an anti-war rally while Bush was president. Obama gets elected, the same wars continue, no more anti-war rallies. Because the media
They forgot we were in wars, yeah.
That's it, man. It's just all about what the media is telling you to be mad about this week. And you should look a little deeper.